Now, what do you mean by age of exploration? Now, this is the time when people from different regions, different parts of the world came to India in form of tourists just to visit the place and look for opportunities of business. The first one was Portuguese. Now, Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese explorer, was the first European to reach India by sea in 1498. It marked the beginning of European era in Indian history. The Portuguese established a strong naval presence along with western coast of India and set up trading posts in cities like Calicut, Goa and Daman. Then came the Dutch. Now the Dutch East India Company was established in 1602. They set up their trading post at several places on the Indian coast, but primarily focused on the spices trade in Indonesia. The third Europeans were French. Now the French came to India in the 17th century and established their first factory in Surat. Later they founded French East India Company and made Pondicherry their primary base. So first came the Portuguese through Vasco da Gama, then the Dutch in 1602, French in 17th century and established their factory in Surat, and last but not the least, British East India Company was established in 1600. They set up their first factory in Masulipatam and subsequently established trading posts in Madras, Bombay and Kolkata. Now, the establishment of British East India Company. British East India Company was granted a royal charter by Queen Elizabeth I in 1600, giving it a 15-year monopoly on English trade with East Indies. The company initially traded in goods like silk, indigo, dye, salt, pepper, tea and opium. Over time, they not only established trading posts across India but also started intervening in local politics, marking the beginning of British colonial rule in India. Now, let's talk about the Anglo-French rivalry in India. The 18th century saw intense rivalry between the British and the French. Why? Because they both wanted control over trade and territories in India. This rivalry played out in the form of Carnatic Wars, fought between British East India Company and French East India Company. And where what is fought? It was fought in Carnatic in South India. The wars were largely proxy wars, with local rulers being supported by French and British. Ultimately, the British emerged victorious, which strengthened their position in India and paved the way for their eventual colonial rule.